Let's begin by coming into a comfortable seat. In today's practice, you'll need a few props: a blanket, a bolster, 2 blocks, and a strap. And if you don't have those props at home, go ahead and grab a couple of big pillows, 2 books that are about the same size, and anything that looks like a strap, such as a scarf, a belt, a towel. And once you've assembled all of your props, take a moment to arrive. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale a long sigh out. And we'll go ahead and begin by setting up our first pose. So grabbing that bolster or perhaps a pillow that resembles the size of a bolster. You might use 2 pillows so that it's a little bit thicker and it can support your body. And then blocks are about the shape of a medium-sized book, but they're rather thick, so you just want to make sure that they could easily support you here. Good. You'll bring the blocks into the shape of a T. 1 block on its lowest height and then the other block on the medium height. You'll lay the bolster or pillow down on top of those blocks so that it creates a ramp. And this ramp is going to support your spine. Go ahead and bring your sitting bones to rest on the floor, but right at the edge of that bolster. And then lay yourself down to rest. You want that top block to support your head. So go ahead and adjust the props in any way that you need to feel fully held and supported. You can extend your legs out long. Open your arms to the side and allow your palms to face the sky. A gesture of receiving, of opening your hands towards all of the blessings that this practice can and will provide. As you close your eyes and begin to observe your breath. Begin to soften around your forehead, the back of your eyes, into your jaw and tongue, teeth, along the nape of your neck and into your shoulders, out into your arms, allowing your palms to rest heavy on the mat, your chest and abdomen to be soft and supple. As you feel your hips connected to the floor and your legs extending long on the mat, toes open wide, soles of the feet open, crown of your head open. Coming into a state of deep rest and relaxation. And if your mind has wandered, start to notice thoughts that show up in your consciousness. Call your attention back onto your breath and into your body as you feel into your experience. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers in front of your belly. Flip your palms towards the sky and reach your arms overhead to stretch into your side body. And bring your hands back in front of the torso. Switch the interlace and then do that again, stretching your arms up and overhead. And bring your hands back in front of the torso. Roll on over to your side, any side that feels comfortable, and hug your knees in towards your chest. Resting in a supine fetal position, one that should feel pretty comforting as you release and let go of all of the things that you wish to leave behind. Allowing this to be an opportunity for rebirth, for reawakening into your mind and body as you start to relate to your practice for so many of us in perhaps a new way. And then once you're ready, press yourself up into a comfortable seat, allowing your head to be the last thing that comes on top. Move your props to the side. And let's go ahead and just bring that pillow or bolster onto the floor. Bring your left hip up to the bolster. And then turn your chest over the bolster. Take a deep breath in to lift your low belly. And then as you exhale, start to lay your belly and chest on the bolster. And then eventually your head. You can turn your head to any side that feels comfortable, whichever cheek feels the best for you. And know that you can always shift at any point in time throughout this practice. For some of us, these resting postures will feel a little bit confronting, either physically or mentally. And just know that that is part of the process of releasing and letting go, of fully surrendering into the props beneath you, allowing yourself to feel fully held, and perhaps to release and let go of some of that surface tension that tends to live in our bodies and sometimes accumulate over time. Begin to feel all of those muscles and fibers just dissolve and unwind. Allow this to be an untangling of anything that has been bound up for perhaps far too long. And use your exhales as a way to clear, to sigh, to release all of that out. Perhaps your eyes remain closed as you continue to dive deeper inward. And then wherever you are, take a long exhale out through your nose. And slowly bring your hands onto the earth. And once again, let your head be heavy as you roll up to seated. And coming into side two, just go ahead and roll your hips over to the other side as you bring your right hip up to the bolster, onto those pillows. And the knees will kind of stagger on top of one another. And take a moment to lengthen your spine and twist your chest over the bolster, trying to get as much of that belly onto the bolster so you get a nice reclined twist. And you can move your hands out to the side. You can bring your arms up and overhead, any place that feels comfortable for the arms, allowing them to rest. And take a deep breath into your lungs, stretching the space between your shoulders. And then as you exhale, softening around the cavity of your heart. As you begin to witness the expansion and contraction of your heart and lungs every time you breathe. Now is the time to witness the miracle that is your body. To perhaps send your love and appreciation to your body for all that it does for you throughout the day. To really carve out this time to take care of you. To give yourself the love and support, the nourishment that you need to feel fully recharged and revitalized at the conclusion of this practice. You are so deserving of this time. Breathe into it. And slowly press your hands down into the mat and roll all the way up to seated. And now go ahead and move your bolster to the side. Lay your blanket down and come to sit on your blanket so that it elevates your hips a little bit. As you sit in a comfortable seated position, you want your hips to be about even with your knees. So you can roll that blanket up until your hips are elevated high enough to be level with your knees. Go ahead and lower your right ear to your right shoulder And then exhale, draw your chin in towards your chest and bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Just kind of moving into these gentle stretches for your neck, rocking your head from side to side. If it feels good, you can do full circles with your head, opening up all four sides of your neck. And if there are any areas that feel particularly tight, just breathe into that a little bit more. And go ahead and come up and do a comfortable seat. Bring the soles of your feet together now, and you can bring your heels close in towards your sitting bones, or you can pull your feet farther away, wherever it feels comfortable for you. Bring those blocks and go ahead and bring them underneath your knees so that your knees can fully relax down into the blocks. You can also bring pillows underneath your knees or those books that you have. I like to bring a bolster or a pillow onto the tops of the feet to support the chest as you begin to lean forward into Baddha Konasana. And while oftentimes in a restorative practice, the body is fully supported, traditionally in yin, there are no props. So you kind of just let the weight of gravity, the force of gravity to pull you deeper into these poses. The concept being the more you release, the more you breathe into the postures, the more space we create, and the more we can start to open the body to rest a little bit more. You might choose to bring the forehead onto a pillow, perhaps even just to fold your arms and to allow your forehead to rest on your forearms. The practice of bringing your third eye onto a surface helps to calm and concentrate your mind. And take a deep breath down into your hips. And a long breath out. And begin to soften around your jaw and the eyes. Notice where tension accumulates in the body. Send your breath to those spaces. draw your chin in towards your chest, root your sitting bones down into the earth, and coil your spine all the way up to seated. Go ahead and move any pillows that are in front of you off to the side. You can move your blocks a little bit further forward and turn them on their highest height. You go ahead and place that bolster or that pillow on top of the block so that it's a little bit higher. For a moment, extend your feet forward out in front of you. Bring your fingertips back and then lift your chest up towards the sky to come into a gentle upper back bend. Good. And then as you exhale, draw the low belly in and then start to lean forward into Paschimottanasana, a reclined forward fold. In this pose, if your knees are bent here, it actually could be very, very helpful for your hamstrings. You can choose to lift your knees and place a pillow underneath your knees if that's the case. If you are a little bit more open in your hamstrings, then you can turn your blocks onto a lower level and lean forward that way. And this pose is so beneficial because it opens the entire backside of your body. From your calves to your hamstrings, to your lower back and through your shoulders. Feeling this natural cycling of breath moving through you. Cleansing and restoring you. Not just physically, but also energetically. Allowing the breath to create these pathways of energy inside of your body that move easily and effortlessly. The concept behind this practice is that the body can only really fully heal when we are rested and restored. We shift into the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and relaxation response. And it signals to the mind and to the body that now is the time to do the healing work you need to feel healthy, vibrant, energized, and happy. And slowly draw your chin in towards your chest and roll all the way up to seated. And go ahead and move your props to the side. You'll bring the sole of your right foot to your inner left thigh, opening up the knee. And take a lean on over to the left arm out to the side as you stretch your right arm up and over. And come back up to seated and twist on over to the right. Bring your right hand behind you and your left hand to your right knee, lengthening to revolve. And then slowly come back to center and switch sides. Bring the sole of your left foot to the inner right thigh. Go ahead and lean on over to the right, lowering your right arm down, in or outside of that extended right leg. Take a moment to stretch into your side body. And then exhale, come all the way up to seated. Twist on over to the left, bringing your right hand to the outer knee. Lengthen to revolve. And go ahead and unwind. Move your blanket out to the side. And then grab your strap. And go ahead and open up the strap. If you have a traditional yogi strap, then there'll be a kind of like a lever. And you want to go ahead and wrap up the strap, bringing the tail end of the strap through the bottom loop and then back and around through the top. And what that'll do is create a nice lock in your strap so that you have a big open loop. Of course, if you're using any other types of props, then you'll kind of go ahead and avoid that part of the instruction. Grab your 2 blocks, lay all the way down onto your back. Now go ahead and place your feet down on the floor, just about hips width in distance and underneath your knees. Lift your hips up, slide a block underneath your hips. And you can do 1 or 2 blocks depending on what feels comfortable for you here. The blocks can be any level that feel good for you as well. But you want to bring the blocks underneath your sacrum. So a lot of times I see people place the blocks somewhere a little bit above the sacrum, so onto your spine or into your lower back, and that's a danger zone. You want your blocks to support your hip. Now go ahead and place your feet flat, lift your hips, and move that block to the side. Grab your strap, bring it around the sole of your right foot, reach your right foot up towards the sky. Send your left leg forward out in front of you if that feels okay. And bend your right knee as much as you need. You want to feel your lower back wide and long on the mat here. Your right psoas or the hip crease is soft. And if you do have that big loop in your strap, then you can come into hammock pose. So you'll bring the strap behind your head at the same place where you would wear a baseball cap, so right above the ears. So it's resting on your skull and not on your neck. And then you'll just lean your head back and kind of rest in what feels like a hammock with your right leg extended to the sky and your chest resting back towards the floor. Of course, if you don't have a strap, you'll just grab that strap with both hands. And hopefully that strap is long enough so that your triceps, your upper arms, and your elbows can rest onto the floor to release your shoulders. And soften around your jaw and your neck. And just remember that these poses are not here to create any strain in the body. So if you feel that at all, bend your right knee a little bit. Perhaps bring your right leg further away from the face. The body will naturally open up when you give it a little bit of room and space. And slowly start to shift. If that strap is behind your head, go ahead and move it to the side. Take your strap into your right hand and your left hand onto your hip. Take a moment just to move your right leg to the right and to the left. You can create some circles with that right leg. Just kind of opening up the hip joint a little bit. And then bend your right knee, move the strap to the side, and switch sides. Draw your left knee in, take the strap around the sole of your left foot, reach your left foot up towards the sky. And set up for side two. If you have that strap behind your head, you can come into hammock pose. Maybe grab both ends of the strap And let your shoulders soften. And just know that our bodies are not always balanced. You're not always equal on the right and on the left. So if this side requires more room, more space, a deeper bend in the knee, a loosening of your strap, or perhaps you're more flexible on this side and you need to tighten the strap, or you feel a little bit better extending your right leg forward, and just kind of listen to that. And that right leg, if it is extended forward, try to just draw your right heel in a little bit so that your right heel is in line with your right hip. You can open the toes to the side, that's perfectly fine. Some teachers will tell you to roll your inner right thigh down and bring your foot to a wall. You can also do that, and that will kind of encourage really traditional alignment here in the pose. But for the purpose of this practice, I just want you to find a space, a place within your body where you can kind of feel an opening, feel a stretch, but also feel fully relaxed and supported. So where you find that within your body is where you need to be. And perhaps we just breathe into that you are right where you need to be right now. You're on your mat, breathing. And then go ahead and release, moving your strap from behind your head. Take the strap into your left hand and your right hand onto your hip. And take a moment to open up the leg, perhaps move it over to the right or draw some circles, getting the blood flow back into your hip and into your leg. Listening to your body and what it needs. And then go ahead and bend that left knee, move your strap to the side. Extend your feet forward, out in front of you. Close your eyes. And bring your arms into any comfortable shape. Arms can extend out to the side, or you can bring your hands onto your belly. Maybe your arms reach up and overhead. And start to lay yourself down to rest into Shavasana, corpse pose. And the most important posture of the entire practice, the one in which we release and really let it all go. Allow ourselves to be in a state of existence without doing anything, just being exactly who you are in this moment. And as you soften, as you surrender, and as you let go, allow the floor to support you here. The earth to rise up to meet you so that you feel fully held in this cocoon of light. Drifting away into a state of unity with your mind and body and heart and breath, with the world within you and the world around you. Repeating to yourself, all is well. All is well. And go ahead and take a deep breath down into your belly. Allow your side ribs to inflate and lift that inhale all the way up to the top of your throat and pause. And then exhale, long sigh out. Filling the entire container of your torso with breath. Inhale down deep into the belly, lifting the abdomen towards the sky as you stretch that inhale all the way up into your heart and lungs. Hold it at the top until you get to the peak of your inhale and pause. And then exhale, let it all go. And slowly begin to wiggle your fingertips and stretch into your toes. Reach your arms overhead as you breathe in. And once again, roll on over to one side, drawing your knees into your chest. And press yourself all the way up into a comfortable seat, bringing your palms to meet in front of your heart. Taking a moment to say thank you to yourself for showing up today, for this practice, for this breath, and the many blessings in your life. The light in me sees, honors, and greets the light within you. Namaste.